Hail, Internet! It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here today talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 2, Ad Astra per Aspera, to the stars through struggle. And contrary to my theory crafting, had nothing to do with Kansas. It was a shot in the dark. It can't all be winners. Well, we open with a flashback to number one as a child with her parents. She'd been injured. The parents are debating the risks of taking her to the doctor and thus being found out as Illyrians. We then see her in the present day of the show being offered a plea deal with no jail time but a dishonorable discharge. We end with a newly exonerated number one resuming her duties on the Enterprise and getting an awkward welcome home hug from Pike.
Yes.
So all is well. So that said, Paul.
Yes.
What'd you think of episode 2?
I give it a 7 out of 10. I liked it. I thought it was good. Yeah, there were things that I would have changed about it, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. They certainly pulled my little heartstrings there. Let's go to the stars and be absolved of all our sins.
Yeah, kind of an aspirational, look, we're on a journey. We're not there, but we're trying to get there,
Yes.
Being better people. A quick note on last week's episode. The reason that it had so little of Captain Pike was because Anson Mount took time off to be with his newborn child. So they wrote him out of the episode. It occurred to me at the time that perhaps there was some kind of scheduling conflict. Well, now we know it was the birth of his child. So there you go.
Yes. There you go.
This is an odd one because much like an episode from Season 2 of Next Generation, Measure of a Man, I feel like this shouldn't work. But it does. It does work. Measure of Man was a courtroom episode which tackled the question of is Data a sentient being, thus getting the accompanying rights of a sentient being. This episode tackles the question of discrimination based on genetic engineering.
Yes.
And since we know that in the canon of Star Trek, that question is still being debated many years later.
Yes. Yes.
This episode does not decide that question.
No.
It frees Una on this legal technicality. She was basically de facto granted asylum on the Enterprise, even though she didn't realize it at the time. But she had met the requirements, and so had asylum. And I do think this episode succeeds because of some, I think, clever writing. And I think the acting and the relationship between Neera and Una, basically who have most of the dialogue, works.
Yeah, it was a really good choice to cast that actress.
She was in American Gods, in fact. Yeah.
Oh,
she was one of the old gods from American Gods. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, she's a very good actor.
Yeah.
And and so it was quite good. It's another instance though where I'm wondering what was the nature of their relationship?
Yeah, no, I agree. They didn't. There was nothing stated, but there was an implication that maybe they were more than just friends. Yeah, that they had.
And I also get that feeling from Noonien Singh as well, where it's was there something going on there?
Yeah,
what's going on?
But when I say that this episode shouldn't work, I'm thinking about like if I'd been
the
at the
legal arguments themselves.
The legal arguments, they're all fictional anyway. They're based on this case law that doesn't exist. Oh, okay, you're right. Based on that case law, it probably works. But it's because, if I'd been sitting at the writer's table, let's say, and someone suggests this
Sounds
plot
like a good
line,
place to sit. Yes.
Yeah, I think I would have shot it down so fast. Look, I want a 50-minute court drama, no action. It'll be people in chairs talking, and then occasionally standing, doing more talking. And other than Una,
this may end up being my favorite episode of the season.
That's right, no action.
action.
Exactly. But they're like, other than
no
Una.
action.
There's no action. There's no action. There's no action.
The speakers, like there's the judges, our lawyer, the opposing counsel, they're all going to be new people to the show. We won't know any of them ahead of time.
No,
the entire
no.
main cast is going to be sitting silently watching other people talk on a monitor.
Yeah.
And at the end, they'll like clap. You know, like what?
That generally is like the thing that I
Ow!
don't like about like the Flash and Arrow, where it's like oh, look at them going out. No, let's just get some popcorn and watch them on a big screen.
I mean, like I was,
I think in other shows you would have seen sort of like people going about their duties because they have them. It's like they
Yes.
did Una to come in at the end of it and be like, why don't y'all get back to work?
Yeah, exactly. What you guys have been literally watching TV for who knows how long, weeks.
Because I feel like
days.
previously you'd see people doing about their duties and then asking each other, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? But, no, that's a whole thing is broadcast to the crew, apparently.
Yeah. They even, even wrote in.
They should have just had. They should have been actually on the bridge and just
right,
did
watch
some
on
kind
the
of
view
like,
screen.
yeah, watch on a view screen and be like, oh, flip back to the to what space is around us. Oh, nothing. Okay, go back to the trial. That's what they should have done.
They even had, that bit where Lon tries to do something. So she's like, look, if I can
Yes.
find out who sent the message, it'll help.
yeah.
And then they just basically immediately shut it down. Ura's like, I'm not going to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's watch then.
Yeah.
Let's just sit and watch. I'm like, how is it?
Yeah, I
But
feel
it's
like-
great. It worked.
I feel
It
like
worked.
that was the most responsible interaction that we've ever seen on Star Trek. Hey,
That's
would
true.
you sing that's little, offbeat? Like, no, I won't do that.
As opposed to
and
the
that's
previous
bad
week.
for you. Yeah.
Let's steal the ship. Okay. You're like, what? But yeah. Ura's like, that's not a good idea. Personal data. But yeah, so if I'm at that writer's table, I'm probably like, well, maybe we could do like a B plot where the cast has to go on some dangerous away mission to find the evidence. And they get up space pirates, whatever. And they're like, no, there's no B plot.
No
This
B.
is going to be a courtroom with people in chairs talking. And I'm like, damn, so it worked. And good on it, because I think I would have been afraid to do that. It is brave. It is a brave idea on a space adventure show to say, no, we're going to sit in a court, we're going to do Law and Order, but not even Law and Order. Law and Order has at least the cop part. Oh, there's a dead guy. Oh, I got to do the thing. No, we're doing the entire episode in the courtroom. Like, damn, well done, and they pulled it off. And so, kudos, because again, I don't think I would have had the courage to go, to green light this episode. And I would have been wrong.
Right.
I would have been wrong.
All right.
It was good. So there you go. It does what good sci-fi does, right? It takes a real-world issue, such as discrimination, and it examines it through a fictional what-if context. And it's great, and it works. And and Una does a great job, and we feel the pain that she's undergone through her life, and then her relationship to Nira, and the fact that they were at least friends. And then at some point, when the city divided into two camps, there was the section of the city for Illyrians and the section for non-Illyrians.
Right.
Nira stayed in the Illyrian side, and because she could pass, Una's family went to the non-Illyrian side, and that's where this split happened, not just physically, but also emotionally between them. And it works. That's it's a compelling storyline. I did wonder. So we get this idea that they could pass as non-Illyrian. I suppose that means that there are certain augmentations that are too visible
more
to
obvious.
pass
Yeah.
or something.
Presumably, it's funny. It's like people have commented on the language that they use throughout the episode and how it mirrors, stuff that happens on, in our world.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Certainly passing is something from a more racial
Correct.
thing, really. And they really didn't lay out a lot of different features that would out people. They mentioned the thing that Una was doing,
when she
which is
heals and you can see the red whatever glow. I liked his little thing about noting how the two Vulcans were just hated each other.
Yes, that was good.
I'm sorry for that display. It was terrible.
Yeah.
That was good.
And I think this is an example too of the Strange New Worlds people taking a cue from the Lower Decks people.
Something about this feels off.
Feels off? You have been spoken to about this before, T'Lyn.
It is illogical to ignore something of statistical significance. I must inform the captain.
She has lost all control.
And we are going to get the Lower Decks, at least cameos, if not a whole episode of Lower Decks.
Exactly,
folks.
yeah.
So they're coming.
Yes.
So we also have this bit where La'an is questioned, and her association, that she's related to Khan, comes up. They don't really, they push it a little bit, and she pushes the fact that that's the reason she was angry at Una for hiding it all this time, because she made her kind of think about herself and how loose cannon she might be based on her.
Right.
But so she is genetically engineered, yeah? She has...
I don't know.
Right?
I wonder if the implication isn't it happened in your past, and therefore those things were passed on to you. Not your past, but your family's
right,
past.
You're right.
So generations past. And
you're anticipating my question. What is the difference? Is it also maybe the fact that she hadn't lied about it? I don't know. Maybe she's like, yeah, no, I'm Noonien Singh. That's me.
Or maybe it was priced in, sort of like, okay, it happened in the past, Or I think it's been theorized, people were saying, okay, well, you want to join? Okay, we're going to check your DNA to make sure that you're okay. And whatever they were looking for, they didn't see.
Yeah, could be. Because we know her parents were killed by the Gorn. But that means Khan was not her dad. In other words, Khan was a distant relative. So maybe that's also it. It's just so far
because
removed.
I would just rewatch the Bad Seed, and he was gone for 200 years.
Yeah. So maybe that's it too. It's such a distant past that it's like, hey, I don't know. Anyway, it's just interesting. I was like,
but I wonder though. I wonder if it's possible
freedom.
that situation where, maybe nothing is showing, but perhaps she has dormant genes that might be activated.
Yeah.
So it might be something that.
At least she's worried about that. It's seemingly.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just an interesting.
One of the differences we see with her character in the season finale, where it takes place in the future, where she has an entirely different demeanor, than she did in the previous season there. So with the next episode being quite a heavy Una there, I wonder if we're going to get a more of a sense in of the changes that are coming for her.
Good call, sir. Yeah, we'll figure that out. I noticed there was no Carol Kane in this episode.
Yes.
Not that she needed to be there, really, to watch. But
right.
But I kind of thought she might be the engineer for the season, and maybe it's going to be more like smaller guest spots. But I assume she'll come back, but she'll just come back in small doses, maybe.
Yeah, I would expect probably like Tig Notaro is on Discovery.
Gotcha.
She's not in every episode, only certain. And I feel like if you were to look through, the original series, I don't think we saw Scotty every episode.
That's a great point. You're okay. I hear you. And maybe there'll be like there'll be a Carol Kane centric episode later or something as well. Who knows? But.
Yeah. Well, certainly she's supposed to appear in the next episode where Kirk and Luan go back in time. So
there you go. Kirk's back, baby. We knew that was coming. But
yes.
So yeah, it was, and again, something that was a kind of a hallmark of season one is they were taking themes kind of from popular episodes, Trek episodes of the past, and then kind of reformulating them for the show. And so they did it again here. They took the courtroom episode. The courtroom was in the original series. It's in the next generation. It's a trope. Yes. And so they're like, let's do it. And you could see it coming, right, with the Illyrian thing.
Yeah,
that's probably going to happen. And then it did. And damn it if they didn't pull it off. So well done again on...
Yeah, I am not as up on Star Trek as many others. So it was funny when Una was on the being interrogated, and then you see that her hand is like on the thing there, which is a very old like Star Trek thing where it's like, oh, you're going to tell the truth.
Little
this thing's
truth
going to
teller.
detect. It's like, my gosh, is that? I guess so. That's interesting that the whole tactic there, but it's from the previous shows where it's like, oh yeah, you're on the hot seat, and we'll tell if you're lying.
Womp, 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 womp.
You must tell the truth.
Yeah, the little questioning of Admiral April. That was
Yes.
an interesting line of dialogue where he was basically like, "Hey, the rules said, if I'd have known she was Illyrian, I wouldn't have put her up for the academy because the rules say that you can't be in there." Oh, well, then how about these situations where you broke the rules? Like,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
yeah.
but in those situations, that was because common sense said I shouldn't do that. And well, then. It's interesting how you can just pick and choose
Yes.
when it's good to break the rules or
Yes,
not.
yes.
So
yes.
it was a reasonable, little logical argument that they brought the admiral down. He obviously was not pleased about it. But.
What did you think though? Of like at the end of it, all his testimony was struck.
Yeah,
Not just the last few minutes. They just struck his whole testimony.
which I thought actually like, well, that was maybe the purpose. Like, I don't think it was, but in the moment I thought, oh, well, a clever tactic because he was originally talking for the prosecution, and now you've gotten everything stricken. So good on it.
But nobody noticed though, because everybody's mad at her. It's
I
like-
know.
I wonder even if the judges noticed that that's what they
Yeah,
did, because
you
they're
can't
like
rely on his talking. Yeah. No, I agree. That was very in the moment. I was like, that's you just pushed it until everything got stricken. But then it kind of didn't seem like that was really the point of it. The point was more, hey, I made points because I showed that you don't always follow the rules, and you didn't have to follow the rules, but you actually do believe she's a threat because you're prejudiced against Illyrians, essentially.
Yeah, and his testimony that I was really impressed with her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that he didn't get to say. It's like everybody else is saying they're
Yeah,
impressed with her too.
that didn't mean anything. That wasn't like, oh, the deal breaker. Another
Yeah.
guy saying she was a good officer. Okay.
Yeah, we needed somebody who wasn't on the ship to say that.
Yeah, right.
Who didn't work with her closely. We needed somebody who, in her early years.
So we know that Nira is also an Illyrian, obviously. So was
Yes.
her augment like super lawyering augment?
Besides her super lungs or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, well, although that was a weird one because it was like they had just according to Pike, the people had trouble, but they adapted.
Right.
And so it wasn't like, oh, these are just Illyrians, hence they can breathe this atmosphere or whatever. It was like they all had trouble, but over time their lungs adapted.
It's funny. Go into because what's to stop them from doing it? It's like, hey, can I get that upgrade from my lungs?
Right.
It's like, like, oh, you'll adapt. What do you mean? It's like, come on, give it to me now.
Yeah, I can adapt instantly. But
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, it was a very good episode. Add it to the stable of memorable Star Trek courtroom drama episodes. Those are my thoughts, good sir.
All right, yeah, and I think I got my thoughts out.
All right. We'll be back talking about episode 3, and we are also talking about Secret Invasion. And I know
Yes.
we might still be talking about Lazarus Project. Sure, when this comes out. Yes, we'll be talking about Lazarus Project. So come on back for all 3 of those shows.
Great.
Thank you as always, Paul. Appreciate it, good sir.
No problem.
And we'll talk to everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.